Okay.
Okay, we're dark. Oh, no, we're lighter down. Try turn on that light over top of that. That's a little better. Maybe shadow. Anyways, hello, whoever's out there. We're in a new location trying this out for the first time because so we can make eye contact with you. I look like I'm sitting much higher than you.
Are we getting any messages?
No, nothing's coming through yet, but it takes it a bit to get through. No, we lost people. I don't know. We'll see. It always takes a bit for this to click in. So, Virginia's here. Love the pic of the test run. Good afternoon. Hi, Virginia. Can you hear us okay, Virginia?
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay. Hi, Janice. So good. So we're trying this location today, which is Walter's sewing room, because we're playing with lighting and we're playing with sound. I'm not happy with the lighting at the moment because this was Walter's idea, not mine.
Better? A little better?
Yeah, I guess. There's a bit of shadow over on this side, but I guess it's okay. No, that's too dark. Hi, Mary. Okay, so anyways, the whole idea of setting this up like this is so it looks like we're looking at you when we're talking instead of looking down at our iPads, because Walter has a much bigger screen in here. And so we can see everything on the screen instead of looking at our iPad. So that's the whole point. Hi, Angel. So we'll see. I'm thinking next week that we may try it down in my craft room and see that, because the lighting in my craft room is a little better than this. I'm not happy with this lighting. You look okay because you're sitting under the light. I've got this shadow thing happening.
Shadow? I don't see any shadow.
Well, I look like I'm in the dark. I don't know. I just find this setup weird. Walter's room looks clean from my view. Yeah, well, that's because he did clean it up. Hi, Anne. We are well.
I
yes,
hope you had fabric all over my table. So
hi, Sandra. Yeah, it's brighter than the other location. Anyway, we almost didn't get on live because Walter runs this off a Mac, and I'm a PC user. So we had to do a few little thingies to get ourselves connected today. I still feel like I'm looking off to the side. We both are. Like the camera's there, but I'm like, hi, Andy.
Yeah, because you're looking at that.
Yeah, I know. So that's not really making the improvement. I wonder if you can move. You can't move the live chat though, can you? No, you can't. You're stuck to where it is on the screen. Hi, Anita. Well, anyways, next week it may be another location. We'll see. We're still playing. Oh, organized room, Ann says. Oh, she didn't know you. Hi, Laura. Virginia says, I move extra piles into the laundry room when it's time for Zoom. Hi, Nancy.
I still have my piles. They're closer to the floor, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is a brighter room because, of course, my sewing dungeon is basically a dungeon. But maybe next week we'll try to do it from my main computer in my craft room, and we'll see how that works out. In fact, I just said to Walter before we came on live here, why aren't we doing it that way? Why did we never ever do it that way? The only time we used the craft room is when we did like Art Attack. And I don't really know why. It might have been though because, oh, I think I know why, because I was using my old computer and my old computer would not connect to YouTube Live at that point. And now I have a new computer there and it will. So yeah, we'll try that. Okay, so let's get on with it then. So update on my mother. I guess she's okay. I don't know.
You said earlier this week that her dark circles were disappearing.
Yeah, the dark circles. Oh, hi, B.
We're not blurry at all today.
Yeah, Anita says, well, Anita, have a drink. That'll change. That'll do it. yeah. So, anyways, yeah, her dark marks from her face plant are starting to fade away a lot more. It looked a lot better, so that was good. She seemed pretty much with it when I talked to her on Tuesday. Um, yeah, there was nothing new and exciting there, so yeah, that's okay. Um, so let's jump right in then to what's Walter working on? He's wearing one of the shirts that he has made. You've seen it before.
Yeah, we're actually we're starting another one of these type of poles tomorrow night. I have to cut the fabric tonight. It's going to be a different. The placket's going to be a two-color placket instead of the one color that I've got here. So,
well, yeah, it is cold, Angel, but yeah, they're not really coats. They're I don't know what they are.
well, actually, I feel uncomfortable with just wearing this is short sleeve, so I'm comfortable wearing short sleeve in our house at this time of year. So
I don't know. Lately this year, maybe it's my age. I'm usually always very hot, but I have found this year, this winter, anyways, half the time I'm a little bit on the cool side. But I think it's because I spend so much time in my sewing room, and my sewing room is, an unfinished part of the basement, and it's on a stone, it's on a cement floor kind of a thing. Although I have a carpet there, but I just find if I'm sitting for long periods of time, I get a little chilly down there. So that's why I throw this on. It might be just old age.
normally I just wear a long sleeve shirt, but I always find that when I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt in the house during the winter, it's just a little too chilly. I mean, we could turn the heat up.
Hi, Jeannie. Yeah, we could turn up the heat, but we're cheap. So anyways, but yeah, I don't know what the temperature was today. Amazon, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's -2 degrees Celsius. Tonight, expect a low of -14 degrees.
That's warm. So
-2 is not too bad.
-2 isn't bad. Yeah, of course, I don't know if we have a wind chill or not. Amazon, what's the wind chill factor?
Currently, the wind chill is -7 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
Tonight, expect it'll feel like -12 degrees.
So right now, although it's only -2, it feels like -7 to the wind chill. I don't know. I haven't been out in a couple of days. When was the last time we went? Oh, we went up for a drive yesterday, didn't we?
No, we were going to. We never.
Oh, yeah, we never did that. So yeah, Angel says, understandable. I wear a cardigan a lot while in my room. Yeah. But anyway, so you're starting a new class tomorrow night, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I said I would do another polo like this one. Only we're doing a two-color.
Oh, you're doing the two-color thingy, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just going to use my I think
Hi, Donna.
my plain green fabric for that because it's the basic fabric, and I have a nicer fabric that I want to use at some point, but in case I screw it up.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so what else? Show them the fabric you're using.
Oh, well, it's just the same as this one, only it's kind of a green color.
Oh, okay, fine.
I mean, I have this other fabric that I wanted to use, but for a future project, but I want to do a sample shirt first and decide whether I like it or not.
No, okay, whatever. Dana's here. Hi, Dana. Anita says it's 45 Fahrenheit here in Ohio. This week it'll be in the low 60 Fahrenheit. Well, we'll come down to Ohio, then you're going to be warmer than us. Well, what?
-2 is
-2 is -4. There's 34, just above freezing. No, can't be because freezing is 0 in Celsius. So, oh well, Walter's working that out. So you're working on anything else? You're making more masks.
Yeah.
He's the mask maker, the master mask maker.
I'm done with masks.
You say. Yes. And you haven't been working on anything else? You haven't done any embroidery in a bit.
28.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
What, that's what we are right now?
Yeah.
Is that at -7 or -2?
-2.
No. Well, there's a rule for figuring it out that they used to. I thought it was supposed to
I don't
double
know.
it
I've never
and then add
figured
30.
I've never figured it
Well,
out.
whatever. It's +6. Dana says there. Well, in Regina. Yeah. But is that 6 Fahrenheit, Dana? Are you saying? Or because if that, yeah.
No, well,
Well, she's got 0 Celsius. So I don't know. I'm confused, Dana. What's the real temperature in Celsius for you? But anyways, I got this weird mark on the side of my, right there.
Yeah, you get to see all your marks now.
Jeez. Okay. Turn off the lights. And Anita says, at any rate, she's cold. And in Chicago, it's starting to warm up. Okay. That's great. Well, anyway, in Celsius. So 6 Celsius there. Okay. Well, you're colder than us then.
No,
wait,
she's
we're
warmer.
minus. She's
We're
warmer.
-6.
Yeah, we're
-2.
We're -2. You're 6. Huh. Usually Regina's colder than us. Well, whatever. It's probably
Actually,
the cold
I think
air.
Regina tends to have more extreme temperatures than we do.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's all you've been working on. What have I been working on? Well, I've been working on a few things. I've shown you these before, but I'm making these as gifts. But these are my 3D printed pin cushions, and I embroidered a freestanding lace butterfly, and I stuck it on the side of that. I've got 2 colored groups going here. That's one. And try and get the light on this. Oh, get my hands turned up. And this is the other one. And they're kind of fun. I think they're kind of cute. Anyways, and I've made another thing to go along with them. They're going to be gifts, and I'm not going to say anything more about that in case people are watching that shouldn't be or would be. I made this. This is called the Idiot Quilter Mug Rug.
Right, all of a sudden.
Because I think your camera's...
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the camera. Must be the white balance. Must be on auto or whatever. So they're going to be gifts. And I've been working on that.
I could change the color on this.
Okay, let's...
Too bright.
Ah! Bright light, bright light.
I think that one's better.
Well, that'll have to do. Andy says, Janice, I live near O'Hare. I'm still waiting for the last surprise snowfall. Fall. Anyway, so this morning I was working on my Janome 15,000. And guess what happened?
Oops.
It was doing one of those free lace butterflies and had been working fine for the last couple of days because I've been doing stuff in the embroidery mode on it. And I had a slight jam. I unjammed it, took out the bobbin case, filed the bobbin case down. There were a couple little marks on it, got it all nice and smooth, put it back in. It worked for a while, and then I had a major jam. It was so bad that I couldn't get the needle back up. It was right down, through the holes in my needle plate. And the bobbin itself, the bobbin case, not the bobbin, but the bobbin case that holds the bobbin, it had cranked itself around 180 degrees. It was jammed right in there. I finally got it free, and yeah, the bobbin case is mangled. So luckily I had a couple of spares that I'd ordered about a week or so ago. I dropped the new one in and it ran fine, but it's like since I got it tuned up, I'm having problems again. And I don't want to say, like, Roy is really, really good.
Yeah, but
so I don't want to blame this on Roy, but I don't know. I looked today.
It's funny though. It seems like what it is that they tune it up for the sewing part.
Hi, Marilyn.
And then they check to see if the embroidery part still works. And then if it seems to work okay, then that they figure it's okay. But I think a slight adjustment on one side of the machine causes big problems on the other side of the machine. So
I don't know. I'm going to give it a day or two, but I looked up on Shirley's website what she's charging for the Continental M7 and the 9450 and the 550E. The 550E is the embroidery machine. That's a standalone machine. It just embroiders, and that's what Walter's been using now for 2 years. And that with, minimal amount of problems with it. And you've never had a problem like I've had. I have had the bobbin case bounce before and put a hole through it. Well, anyways, not as often as I have, because I have a collection of bobbin cases, a large collection. So, but it's only really happened once. So one idea is I just go in and I say to Shirley, I'm done. with the 15,000. I want a 9450 and a 550E. What will you give me on a trade-in? I don't expect much from that. If I went that route, that would be with tax and everything about $11,000. If I go for the 9450, it's about in the 550E. It would
just
be
said 9450.
well, I meant the M7.
The M7's nice because it has a deep throat.
That's why I was looking at the M7.
Yeah.
But if I went with the 9450, which I probably could live with, because it's got a fairly big throat too. I don't know how big's it. Is it as big as what?
I think it's as big as the one you
I think it's as big as what I have on the 15,000. 11 inches or 10 and a half, whatever, however they measure it. If I went with that, it would cost me $2,000 less. That's barring any kind of deal Shirley might give me, and Shirley would probably give me somewhat of a deal on the stuff and maybe a trade-in on the other. The other idea is I just keep the 15,000 because right now I haven't checked it after this last thing, but it sews fine. I seldom have a problem with that. Keep that and just get a 550E embroidery machine and not even just forget all about the 15,000 doing embroidery. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do right now, but I know that I'm not going to go through this hell forever. Now, like I said, I replaced the bobbin case with a brand new one. It finished what I want to finish. It was working fine and dandy. But my problem with the Janome 15,000, you've heard me say this before, is I never know when it's going to not work for me. And it gives me anxiety. And I don't want anxiety. So
Doris is saying she's listening intently. I have a 15,000. I'm looking to get another machine.
Well, if you let's just back up. Are you going to keep your 15,000? Yeah, well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's one of the possibilities, Boom. And Doris says, I'm listening intently. I have 50,000 looking to get another machine. Doris, if you're looking to get another machine, well, first of all, Doris, have you experienced any of these problems that I've been talking about with it? You know, I've had more and more people fairly recently tell me they're running into the same problems I've had with the 15,000, which leaves me to believe, and I've believed this since day one, this is a Janome design problem. And as Walter always says, stay away from a combination machine. It's too much for one machine to do it all. So, and I believe that.
Yeah, like I sort of said, like you adjust one part of it and the other part doesn't seem to work as good.
Yes, Sandra, I know that about the M7. The bobbin cases are different from the other machines in that. And Kevin says, I've just ordered an MC 14,000. I'm worried about having problems. I hate to tell you this, but I've had a few people write to me that have 14,000s and have had similar problems. However, I haven't heard about the 14,000 having as many problems as I have heard with the 15,000. So I don't know. I don't know what's different between the two.
I don't think there's a lot of difference.
I don't know. Do they even make a 14,000 anymore?
They don't make the 14. The 15,000 replaced it.
Oh, okay. So basically, are you getting it new, Kevin? Or is it a used machine? Because it would sound to me then if you're getting it new.
I don't think you can get one new.
Well, this would mean it's old stock.
Yeah. Or either old stock or he's bought it from secondhand from somebody.
Dana says, I don't agree with Walter. My Husqvarna diamond is awesome. Yeah, but we're not talking about Husqvarnas. We're not comparing oranges to apples here or whatever. We're talking just about Janome. I mean, Rob, Dana knows who Rob is. He has a, what's he got? A Berdina. And he loves it. He says it hasn't given him any problems. However, it has given him problems because he has talked about a few things, but nowhere near what I've gone through with the 15,000. Kevin says, no, it's brand new. Yeah.
Okay, well, it could be because you're probably the U.S. The U.S. they
okay,
different models than Canada has.
Yeah, different. So whatever. Well, it is the non-Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, really, the Wi-Fi isn't a great advantage, I find, because half the time the Wi-Fi doesn't work. It works okay when you want to monitor using Accu monitoring system, where you can like look on your phone or look on your iPad and see what progress your embroidery is making. But it's hit and miss whether or not you can transfer an embroidery file wirelessly from a computer to your machine. Sometimes that works. Actually, it works when I use Artistic Digitizer. It does not work when I use Horizon Link, which is the program that comes with the 15,000 with that. So I don't know. My honest opinion from my experiences with this machine is I will never ever buy a combo machine again. What I mean is I will never buy another machine that does both sewing, regular sewing, and embroidery. I want to keep the two separate. I think it's just too many things that could go wrong unless you buy a Husqvarna like Dana. And then God bless your soul, you're really lucked out. And I hope you never have a problem, Dana, because if you do, I want to hear about it, because I'm going to go, I'm just nasty like that. Sorry. But anyways, no, I'm glad that yours is okay. I don't wish this on anybody. I really don't. So I don't know. The other possibility is,
So Jenny asked if you can use the large magnetic hoop on the 550. No, the hoops on the 15,000 aren't interchangeable with the 550.
no,
They're actually a different
totally
way to attach it, and it's a different system. The hoops are
hi, Carol.
as long as the 15,000. They're not as wide. The 15,000, I think, has about a 9-inch width, I think.
What, the
hoop size? Or is it
yeah, I think 9
the
point something.
The largest width on the 550E is 7.9.
It's 11 by 9
But
point something.
the longest hoop is 14 inches.
Yeah, but the 550, the hoops go from the side, and like actually most embroidery machines that I have seen, the hoops are on the side. Mine's at the front of it. It's an arm that comes out. The hoop hooks into that. It's a totally different mechanism. Which
that's my 15,000 here. It has
yeah.
the embroidery unit right here on the level, so it moves across. So whereas his embroidery unit attaches at the back of the machine,
and so you have an arm that swings out and it clips into it. Sandra says, I have an S9 combo. Only problem is largest hoops 5.7. Well, you have the Skyline 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that the largest hoop's a 5x7. I thought I've looked into those too, but again, it's a combo machine. But Sandra, they came out with the Skyline 9 after they came out with the 15,000, so they may have improved on however they do the technology.
That's my largest hoop for the 15,000.
Not the 15,000. The
550.
550.
Sorry, 550. Yeah.
Oh, Bombo has a 15,000 too. Well, my problem is the problem that if you've seen some of my past videos on the Idiot Quilter where I talked about it, it's basically, it goes along, it's working along fine, and then suddenly this horrible noise will come out of it. The needle crashes, and the needle actually crashes into the bobbin casing, and it scars it. In some cases, pierces a hole in it.
Actually, I think what happens is your bobbin case dislodges.
Yeah, it dislodges,
and then the needle ends up going through it.
And it's seated properly. And listen, I know how to run my machine. Okay, I've had lots of experience with it, and so it is not user error. In fact, that was concluded by both the technician and by Shirley at Ultimate Sewing back when I was having all the major problems with it. And this is my second machine. This is not my original 15,000 that I bought. Shirley traded me after, like, it had gone to Janome headquarters to be repaired. It came back. It worked for a whole 20 minutes if it was that, and then started to do everything that they supposedly had repaired. She gave me the one she had in the store that hardly had been used, switched it right out, because apparently Janome wanted her to send my machine to New Jersey or someplace where there's another big, one of the American headquarters or something like that, because they want to study it. So the story goes. In all honesty, I don't think that's what happened. I think Shirley, out of the goodness of her heart, told me that, but gave me the other machine. Because Shirley would have done that out of the goodness of her heart, because that's the kind of dealer she is. She wants you to be happy. So I don't know. I have no proof of that, but maybe it went back to Janome
Well,
headquarters.
she must have gotten some money back for it and stuff.
Well,
like
I hope
that.
she did.
Yeah. Was that Jenny asked if you can quilt on the 550E. The 550E is a strictly embroidery machine. You can run a quilting pattern on it and quilt that way, but like you'd have to put pattern into it like it's an embroidery pattern, and it would quilt it out, right? But you can't actually sew on the 550E. It's only strictly embroidery machine.
Yeah. And, technically speaking, I did do a video about quilting on the Janome 15,000. Only if you're doing placemats or table runners. Don't try to do a full-size quilt on it.
Yeah, like you could do that in the 550E.
I did.
Yeah.
And they claim you can. And I did. But I don't really recommend it. And the reason I don't recommend it is because of the way the hoops are set up. You have this arm coming out at the front of your machine, and your hoop, half of your hoop is on that arm. So where's your quilt going to go? Your quilt's going to end up over top of the arm, and that's not good. So I rigged up a bungee cords in my sewing room because I have exposed, what do you call them? Rafters or whatever. And so I was able to hook those up, and that would keep the quilt off the embroidery arm. And that was fine, but it's still, no, it's not a long arm machine. You're better off quilting using, like, doing freestanding or free motion or ruler foot, or using your walking foot for it. I do not recommend. Now, in hindsight, okay, I mean, I did a whole video, a couple of them, showing it, and I was singing the praises of it. This is great. You can do this, and I have since learned that if you get a little bit better in free motion quilting, or if you get a little bit better with ruler work, you're best to go that route with it.
Bobo said about changing to the yellow bobbin case.
Yeah, well, I'm using the yellow bobbin case right now. Now, the whole story with the bobbin cases, okay? There's a red dot bobbin, there's a yellow dot bobbin. The red dot bobbin is supposed to be for regular sewing. The yellow dot bobbin is supposed to be for embroidery when you are not using Janome thread, okay? That's what they tell you in the book. So I use Floriani. And Floriani is what my Ultimate Sewing sells and what Shirley recommends, and it's a good thread. But I use the yellow dot bobbin. When Shirley exchanged my machine with her machine, it came with the red dot bobbin in it, and I said to her, well, what bobbin are you using to embroider with? She said, the red dot bobbin. And I went, yeah, but the book says to use the yellow dot unless you use a Janome thread. She was using Floriani. Well, so I left it set up the way she had it, and I didn't have any problems with it for quite a while. Then I sent it there a few weeks ago in to have it serviced, cleaned up and everything, checked my timing. I thought my timing might have been a little off, so I thought, okay, let's clean it up. I send my sewing machines once a year anyways to have all that stuff done because, you should. And when it came back, it was working fine. But since it came back, then I had a problem with the red dot bobbin. I put the red dot bobbin in. It was a brand new bobbin, brand new, no marks on it, nothing. It worked for a while, then I had a problem. And I got thinking, oh, what's going on? So I burned through 2 red dot bobbins at that point.
Yeah, I think if he adjusted the timing, it caused a problem in the embroidery section.
Well, maybe, but are you a sewing technician? How do you know they work? If you knew this, man, why don't you service my machine?
Well, you was working fine until.
I know, but whatever. Let me finish the story. So I put in the yellow dot bobbin, and it was running fine. I did a whole bunch of stuff on that and everything, and then suddenly something's going out of whack again. I don't know. I mean, replacing those bobbin cases are $40 a pop, Canadian. I have probably invested $600 to $700 since I have since I got the first 15,000 in bobbins cases. That's not right. That's not right.
My 550E came with the red dot bobbin case in it. And I've always used the red dot bobbin, even though it says in my manual the same thing it says in your manual. It says if you're not using Janome thread, to use the yellow dot bobbin. I've never used the yellow dot bobbin.
Yeah, Bonbon. That's even when I changed the yellow bobbin case from the red when your embroidery crashes. Yeah. Just did that this morning. So yeah, exactly, Nairi. They're expensive machines. Bobbin cases is what gives me the most problems with my 15,000 also, says Doris. You see, this is what makes me think there is a common flaw in the design. But Janome will never, ever talk to you about that or admit to it. So I'm at the point now where I'll let it run again some more. I've got a new yellow dot bobbin in it, but if it starts doing this again, then I'm going to say, no, screw it, and the hell with it. I am going to invest whatever I need to invest to have something that works.
Yeah, the problem is Shirley does probably have other customers that have 15,000. But she doesn't probably have a customer that uses it as much as he does.
No, here's the problem, okay? People get these embroidery machines, they use them twice. Okay? Now, where's Bonnie? She's not on here today because Bonnie be telling me she uses hers every day. Okay? But Bonnie does not have a Janome 15,000.
She has Husqvarna.
She has a Husqvarna, right? So, you know, what's that tell you? But I know I took classes when I first got the 15,000, and there were women in that class, people in that class, who had had their machine, their embroidery machines for a while, and hadn't taken them out of the box yet, or they had never embroidered on them. Now, they weren't all 15,000 machines. They were 500s or whatever, but they just never used it.
There's a lady in my class that she had her machine for, in one of the embroidery classes I was in last year, she had her machine for 5 or 6 years already. It was one that does, it was a machine that did both embroidery and sewing. And she had never embroidered on it because she didn't know how.
Yeah. So sometimes people buy these things and don't really use them fully. And you know what? Know something? I do believe, whether I'm right or wrong, I don't have any evidence for this, but I do believe that when manufacturers make these high-end types of things, they know there are problems with them, but they don't expect most people will ever get to the stage where they'll find those problems out. Because most people are not power users like I am. And you've heard me say that before. I'm a power user on anything that I get. I will push any machine I buy. If it says it's supposed to be able to do this or that or the other thing, I will push it to its limit because it says it can't. I don't abuse it. I'm very careful with this. But so I'm just frustrated.
Yeah, Anita, there's a name for shows that are for rigorous sewers. They're called industrial machines.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of industrial machines, I also looked into this morning. I didn't tell him this. Janome has a machine, an embroidery machine that is a multi-needle machine. It's just an embroidery machine. Shirley lists it for $4,000. Actually, slightly over $4,000. And the thought went through my head.
However, they only use small hoops.
Yeah, I know. That's the other problem. Mind you, the biggest hoop on my machine I have used rarely. But
I don't use the really big hoop on mine that much.
Angel says that's what she has, is a multi-needle machine. And yes, Anita, there may be other brands of machines for more rigorous sewers, possibly, but I think they're industrial.
Actually, it's not really the sewing he has a problem with. It's the embroidery part. So.
Yes, the embroidery part. The rest of the machine is a beauty. It's a beautiful machine in many, many ways, except for this problem with the embroidery business. And that just frustrates me to no end because this was my dream machine. I remember the first time I laid eyes on it in the store and I went, I want one of those. And Shirley gave me a really good price on it, too. And someone mentioned this, Shirley, what'd Shirley say? Yeah, Sandra says, She must have other customers, 15,000. She does. And I know some of those customers. And as far as I know, they've been fine. But they're the ones I was saying that they might embroider on a very rare occasion. So, you know, their machine.
Yeah, it's like we know a woman that's taught sewing and stuff like that. And she said she had an embroidery machine, but she never uses it.
Yeah. So, yeah, and Shirley did tell me that there was somebody once that had a similar problem to I had. And there was something to do with the computer components built into it. They put in a new motherboard or something. And according to Shirley, she's never heard that the woman has had any problems with it since.
Either that or she didn't come back and complain about it.
Yeah. You know, like, I don't know. Whatever. It gives me a big headache. So, and Donna says it's still not a commercial machine, just multi-needle. Well, the one I'm talking about too is a Janome machine. It's not an industrial machine. It's or commercial machine. It's a domestic machine, but I think it has 7 needles in it or something.
Yeah, it's a four needle, I think.
Yeah. No, I think it's 7.
No, the 7 one's more expensive than that.
Oh, well, okay. The one that she's got the picture of on her website has 7 needles in it. So check it out. Go on, get out your phone. Check it out. Check it out. Watch. He'll be right. I'll be wrong. Yeah, Anita. I should have just stuck to doing art journaling. Anyways, these are the problems. You've heard me talk about these before. It's like a broken record. So I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. So we'll live with it. Let's move on. Oh, I showed you what I was working on. Okay. So just speaking of this week on the Idiot Quilter, I've got several projects to show you. And I did buy a new toy that I'm going to try out for quilting. It's actually a template, but I'll show that on the Idiot Quilter on Tuesday. So retreat update. Well, I've got a lot of gift certificates. The people that that are my sponsors, which are Ultimate Sewing, Class Act, which is the crafting store, and of course the Quilter's Way Chatterbox Quilts with Kim. Ultimate Sewing gave me 20 gift certificates. Class Act has donated 15 gift certificates, and I'm still working with Kim, but Kim is, I think, going to give me several things that are codes for discounts on courses that she has on the Quilter's Way that are paid courses as well. And she has a grand prize one too for her complete course in free motion quilting, which is very, very good because Kim is very, very good in her tutorials. She's an excellent teacher. So anyways, we've got a lot of goodies to give out. So now I'm thinking about how we're going to do this. And I'm not going to tell you because I'm still working on the ideas, but 2, for those of you that are going to be at the retreat, I want it to be a surprise. So I really wish I could have like enough prizes that everybody would be guaranteed to win a prize. But unfortunately, I can't do that at this point in time. Because I've got my what?
4 needle.
All right, fine. I was looking at the picture.
Embroidery. Yeah, I know she's got lots of threads. It says with our 4 needle machine.
And how much is it listed for?
$4,980.
Yeah, so $5,000. Well, see, yeah, when I looked at the picture, that doesn't look like 4 needles.
No, but that's the 4 needle one. They do have a 7 needle one. It's more expensive though.
Okay, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spools of thread on this.
Yeah, but if you look at this,
it's
4 needles.
It's 4 needles. Well, that's
deceiving.
That's deceiving. See what we're talking about? The lighting here. Okay, see, there's what she shows on the website. It's a 4 needle machine, but there are 7 cones of thread sitting on top of it. Now, mind you, Shirley does not take these pictures. These come from Janome.
Yeah,
that are there. So it's not Shirley, it's Janome. But a little bit misleading. But still, 4 needles would make life much easier.
MB4S is a 4 needle embroidery machine.
Spring for a Melco and live happily ever after. What's a Melco, Kevin? I don't know that one. Why not keep the 15,000, Sandra says, for sewing and only invest in the 500 or 550 for embroidery? Well, that's actually Walter's suggestion too. And yeah, I'm thinking right now that might be the one route to go on. I mean, it's $3,000 for the 550E right now.
Actually, it's 2,700. On her website, it's more expensive.
Whatever. Yeah, but I know Shirley would give me a deal on it. So, you know, Melco is 16 needle commercial for about 14,000. Oh, same price as a 15,000. Okay.
It's like the ones that Montville sells the Happy Machines.
No, yeah, Happy Machines. Yeah. I said I'm a power user. I'm not a super power user. So not that price. I mean, I don't really have $14,000 laying around either for that kind of thing. But I don't know. But let's get off the sewing machines right now, because this isn't an episode of The Idiot Quilter. This is Stephen and Walter Live. So moving on. So I talking about the retreat. We made a video at Ultimate Sewing on Monday. And showing what the store is like and the products. And Donna, who works for Shirley, she was excellent in the presentation, which I was kind of surprised at, because she said she was really nervous in the whole bit. She was smooth, like really, it's pretty professional. With, at least from Donna's point of view, the camera work might be a little off, although I didn't think I did too bad a job. And I had her wired for sound, but it's on a corded one. So she'd be walking a little bit fast ahead of me. It was like, okay.
Forgot she was on a cord.
She forgot she was on the cord. So, but anyways, that'll be part of the retreat. And as I told you before, we've got Carol from Class Act. She's going to be showing something called Angelina Fibers, which apparently these were developed for quilters originally, but they've been adapted into the crafting world as well. I can't really describe exactly what they are. I've got some somewhere around the house. I keep forgetting to look for them because I bought some at one time, never used them. But you can do a lot of things with them for both quilting and crafting. And Carol is an expert on how to use them. In fact, Carol's one of the few places where you can actually buy them, at least for us locally. You maybe can get them from Amazon, I don't know. But she's going to demo those. And Kim's going to talk about Chatterbox quilts and the quilter's way, and she's going to talk about free motion quilting as well. And she's pretty much an expert on free motion quilting, as Dana can attest to, because Dana belongs to the quilter's way, the same as I do. But anyways, it should be really good. Everything's coming together right now very nicely. So hopefully, I've been playing with the technology now. We're going to be using multiple screens, at least from our end. From your end, it's not going to look like multiple screens, but it will make life easier for me. So next week, I'm going to send out an email to all the participants about Zoom on all the platforms. So no matter what you connect with, if you're somebody who's not that experienced with Zoom, these will help you out. They're very short little videos on YouTube that I put a list together for. And the week after that, I will send out a schedule. I will talk about the sign-in procedure, and that'll be all there. And then away we go. We're only, what, 2 weeks away from it? Yeah. So what, this next Saturday, a week from next Saturday, will be the retreat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know Andy was asking if you were going to distribute a schedule.
Yes. Yes, I will have a schedule. The schedule's very light. I'm not planning every minute of the day. I mean, in the morning, there'll be Donna's presentation. And these presentations are short. I have told the presenters I didn't want their presentations to be at the most 45 minutes. I think most of them are going to come in under 30. Because I don't want to fill the day up with all kinds of distractions where you can't work on your projects. I mean,
not only that, they're optional whether you want to watch them.
Well, yeah, you're not, like, you're at home, like you can carry on doing whatever you're doing, and it can be playing in the background or whatever with it. But I don't want to fill every hour with here's another presentation. Here's another presentation. Because that's not the point of the retreat. But I look at these as more as I'm building them into the schedule as a break time. You need to stretch, get something to eat, have a cup of coffee or whatever, and we'll go from there. So yes, though, I will put out a schedule and all the other stuff. I will look after everybody. It's in my best interest to do so, that. Okay, so I guess we're caught up. All right, so that's that. So we had Craft and Chat this week, which is, I run this on the first Wednesday of every month. Had a few new people this past month. We're a small group. I think we had, about 10 of us, 12 of us. The last one. It keeps growing a little bit each month. They're a lot of fun because they're, in a sense, very much like how I'm going to run the retreat as well, except there's absolutely no guest speakers on that. We just come together and we just work on whatever we're working on, and we talk, just general conversation, that kind of thing. Time went by really fast. When I first started this, I was only going to do it for like a couple of hours, like from 1 to 3 or something like that. Well, we're going 3 hours now, 1 to 4. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. And we have, people who are quilting, we have people who are crafting. It's a nice mixture. So, watch for the announcements if you're interested in that. First Wednesday of every month, I put the link in a week before into the show notes for all 3 of my, whatever you call them. They're all one channel, but they're all 3 different parts of the channel, Idiot Quilter, Bland Designs, and Stephen and Walter Live.
Yeah, and we do them and they aren't recorded, so you don't have to worry about them being posted.
Yeah, I don't record them or post them or anything
YouTube,
like that.
So
no.
I mean, I think you did that for the first couple of them.
Yeah.
But then,
Well, quite frankly, they would be boring for people who weren't involved in it to watch them. Who's going to sit there and watch them?
People that get onto it don't necessarily always want to have their pictures broadcast over the internet. So.
And the retreat won't be recorded either. So.
Hi, Mr. Leon.
Hi, Mr. Leon. Anyways, it was a good time. And Virginia was there, and Anita was there, and Andy and Jeannie were both there as well. So, don't believe me, ask them. And all 4 of those people are regulars. So, with it. Okay, so I had Art Journal group. This is a small group. I've had some people ask if they can join in on the Art Journal when we have it. We have it the first Sunday of every month from 1 until whenever we're done. It usually runs about an hour and a half. And other people are welcome with it. This is, though, one warning about it. You are more than welcome. They are a friendly group, but we're a small group. There's only about 10 of us, and we've been together for 4 years. So in some ways, it's kind of like a private group, although we're willing to have new people join us if they want to. If you want to get a sense of it, you can see what I do record it, and I put it up on my YouTube channel today. It's there right now, and it'll give you a sense of how it works. The reason I record that one, and I have everybody's permission to do so, is because there's so many ideas. When we're not working on our projects when we're on this. We are sharing what we've been working on, and it's ideas galore. Also, new products. We share anything new that we've bought and how to use it and techniques and everything. So it's really good for ideas and for inspiration, and that's why I record it, and that's why I post it on YouTube. So, that's how that works. So what else? Oh, I was doing an experiment yesterday. I bought a new type of filament for my 3D printer, and I'm going to show the end result of that. It's, how Walter had trouble with he has another one of these. He has 2 of them. And after I printed them, he just tapped them with his drill press, and the little prong came off. So I bought this stuff called PETG, Petcha. I don't know how to say it, but it's supposed to be stronger, but you have to do different adjustments to print out. And this one's been printed out.
It's a thread stand.
It's a thread stand, yeah. I'll wall mount one. It mounts on your flat your wall. It's got 2 screws here, and it's got an angle to it, so it's hard to show this. But anyways, they go up slightly.
Yeah, if you put it up on your wall, it goes like that, right? So
yeah. So anyways, he hasn't mounted that one yet, but we're seeing if that is stronger than the other ones. And if it is, there's another style up there that I like better because it holds more spools. I'll make some other ones out of it. But anyways, it's neat because you can't tell on that one, but it's called translucent blue or transparent blue. And I made a little cup out of it. I'm going to show it tomorrow on the vlog. But you can sort of see through it as well. It's got kind of a glass-like finish to it. So it's kind of interesting.
Mr. Leon's saying my sewing room's neat. Yes, it is and it isn't. I'll just give it a quick little tour here.
A quick tour, yeah. Look at the floor.
So there's my cabinet full of fabric, and here's what I'm working on.
That's his pile.
My pile.
That's neat. That is neat.
This is my messy bookcase. Yeah. But the rest of the room looks okay. The rest of the room is nice and tidy. Got my machines here.
What do you call this pile of crap down there?
Oh yeah, okay. There's crap down there too.
Yeah.
These are my machines, and hang on. So that's my serger and my Cover Pro machine. So jerky. Sorry for making everybody sick.
Yeah, well, it's not that neat. It's neater than it usually is. Organized piles. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even sure if they're organized because he's always going to, I can't find this. I can't find that.
Well, I found my technical pencil.
Oh, where was it?
It was underneath my embroidery machine.
He loses everything because he never puts anything in the same place twice.
No, I know. I'm terrible for that.
Mr. Leon says, very nice space and machines. Yeah, got it all. Okay, so that was the news this week. So what's newsworthy this week? Well, in Ontario, they're talking about spreading out the COVID shots. You know how you get 2? And they were saying what? That it was 3 weeks after the first one. Well, now they're saying they can delay the second one, and it's still effective 4 months. Because I guess their philosophy is because we're having a hard time getting in the COVID vaccines in Canada, supposedly. So they're thinking, well, if we can immunize a whole lot of people or vaccinate a whole lot of people with the first one, if we delay when the second one is, and that's better than nothing. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I have no idea. Oh, Virginia got her first shot today. Good for you. I don't think they know, but this is going to be a topic of discussion tomorrow on my vlog, so I'm not going to get into it too much. But basically, they don't know, and we're being used as guinea pigs for a lot of this. So we'll see. I saw a question here. Jeannie wants to know how you like your serger.
I like it so far, but I haven't really used it a lot. I rethreaded it again today in anticipation that tomorrow we'll still be using it tomorrow. It does sew nicer than my old one, so that's good.
Well, your old one though was 30 years old.
Yeah. So far, I'll know a little better tomorrow after I've used it a little bit more. But so far I'm happy with it. So.
Yeah, well, it's the same as my air threader.
Janome. Yeah, it's an Elna, but it's made by Janome. Janome owns Elna, but it's exactly the same.
It looks exactly like mine except for color.
Yeah, the color is a little different. The one that he has silver at the top, and this one's sort of a metallic white or whatever. But I mean, it's exactly the same machine. So.
Oh, Anita says Keith got his first shot on Friday. Okay, good. Yeah, it looks like the Americans are getting more of the shots quicker than we are in Canada. So, of course, now there's this whole business. What was it? Oh, uh, Canada's in something called COVAX or something, where we're going to give leftover vaccines or something to, third world countries and stuff like this, and donate them to them because we have the resources to do that, I guess. And now we're coming under criticism because people are, whoever these people are in other places, saying, well, Canada shouldn't be like buying up all these vaccines for Canadians first because the third world countries can't get them or something like this and whatnot. Well, I have an issue about that. Excuse me, who's the first country in the world that's called upon when you need peacekeepers to go in? Who's the first country in the world that's called upon when you need medical aid, disaster relief, and stuff like that? Canada. And who's one of the first countries in the world that immediately goes in and does these things? Canada. So stick your knife in somebody else's back, assholes. Because, Jesus, our country has done so much for other countries in the world, and then they want to put us on the back burner and make us seem like we're criminals because we want our people to get the shot.
B&D says in the UK it's 12 weeks between shots. So, between shots.
Yeah. Well, 12 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Well, here now they're talking about going 4 months between the two shots to make them out
So
there.
it'll be 16 weeks.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, our country has done a lot for other countries in the world. And then they turn around and make us feel like we're horrible people. And we say, sorry. Oh,
Yeah, well.
What, we have a big welcome mat on the map of the world. It says, welcome, Canada. Wipe your feet on us.
Anyway. So.
I'm so sick of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're having problems in the States too. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, but they're still getting them.
Yeah, I know. They're getting them faster
than we are.
Well, our system seems to be screwed up. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's because we got idiots. But then, if the one thing this COVID crisis has shown us in the world is, if we didn't know that already, that the people who lead all the countries in the world are idiots. They're all idiots.
And they were never, even though they talked big game that there's going to be a pandemic someday down the road, nobody ever thought it would ever happen. So.
No, and then they always complain about money and there's not enough money. And look at the billions upon billions of dollars that our governments have shelled out for various reasons during this whole COVID crisis. Yeah, you don't think that's going to bite us in the ass? It will. Yes, we are a kind country.
And spelling. Sorry.
We have another A. There's 3 of them. Well, too late, B. We saw it. That's okay, B. No problem. I mean, we still spell England with an A. So, but anyways, yeah, that's just my little soapbox. So let's move on. What are we watching on TV? We're running out of series to watch.
Yeah, I know we're running out of our streaming things.
Yeah. And he says, did you hear about the big raise the Tories gave the NHS nurses?
Tories?
No. Well, England, NHS is National Health Service. No, didn't hear about that one. But you've got the big raise in sort of quotation marks. So is that facetious? Was it like gave them 2 more cents an hour or something like that? They talked about increasing what our healthcare workers are paid, but nothing's come from that.
Here they did when the pandemic first started. The grocery stores and everybody else started paying the staff, the essential workers, more money, and then after the second wave, they took it all back again.
Yeah. So I mean, who knows? It's a whopping 1% comes out less because their packing fees were increased. Their packing fees. I don't know what packing fees are. Okay, Angel. We'll see you next week, if not sooner. Oh, parking fees. Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh, great.
they charge them to park at the hospital that they work at?
Yeah, well, they do that here too.
That's ludicrous.
They have to pay for parking. I had to pay for parking when I worked in.
That's ludicrous. Anyways, I realize I spelled it wrong. Sorry. It's late here in UK. It's 1% raise, but that works out to 0.3%. Yeah.
which is not a lot.
Well, won't buy anything. Nairi says there's a series that's good on Prime, Lethal Weapon. I haven't heard of that one. So see, maybe we can't get that one here though.
I don't know. I have to take a look.
I have to look because there's some things, you know, it depends on where you live, what you can get.
Yeah, our one in Canada, we don't have everything that the
No.
US has. I mean, there are ways supposedly that you can get into the US system, but I don't think it's worth it. So
I think it was Anita. Anita, you said back a few weeks ago that you and Keith were watching Resident Alien and you really liked it. So I went looking for it. We can't get it on our version of Netflix or Prime or whatever channel or science fiction channel. We don't get the sci-fi channel, but I was able to download the entire first season off of it. Well, never mind how I do that, but I did. And it's hilarious. We love it. Good. Yes and no, we can get BBC. In that subscription package we have right now.
No, we don't have BBC in
no, on that
package, one. No.
But
so there are some BBC shows that show up in our streaming platforms. And we sometimes are able to get other shows. And
we were watching, or we're still watching, but it's on Apple TV because Walter got a free 1-year subscription to Apple TV when he bought his Mac. So we've been watching Servant, which is getting even weirder than it was. But it's good. And the second season now of For All Mankind, which I really like it. It's interesting. But that's on Apple TV. Anyone else can watch the new Tom Hanks movie on Netflix? We can't get it in the States. Oh, I didn't know he had a new movie. What's his new movie called? Because I didn't see that. There is a series that I'm looking forward to see because I read the trilogy. It's 3 books. It's called Bone and Shadow. Shadow and Bone. Shadow and Bone. Actually, I heard about it from 2 guys that I watched their knitting YouTube channel. Is that Beaded Pearl? Knitted Pearl? No, Beaded Pearl. Bearded Pearl. I think they were the guys, or was it Needles at the Ready? It might have been. There's a couple of different knitting ones I kind of watch.
News of the World. It might be on Prime. I'm not sure. I've seen it somewhere. I don't think it's on Netflix.
Oh, and Anita says there's a new sci-fi started last week called Debris. Debris Weird. Oh, write this down. We don't have the sci-fi channels, I said, but I have ways. I have ways and means of getting things like that. And News of the World. And
yeah, that's the new movie with Tom Hanks. And that's somewhere I've seen it, but I can't remember which. I get mixed up which place.
You're old, you're stupid. News of the World. Okay, Tom Hanks. I'll write these down so I can look them up. I just watched a documentary series on Netflix called Murder Among Mormons. That was really kind of interesting. It's about a guy who's a Mormon in Salt Lake City, in Utah. And basically, he forged documents that the Church of the Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church, did not want to be revealed because it would undercut their whole philosophical beliefs and stuff like that. But at the time, they didn't realize they were forged. And this guy was so good of a forger. I mean, he's spending life in prison now because he also murdered 2 people as well and attempted suicide. But it's really kind of interesting. There's only 3 episodes in this docu-series. But it's really kind of interesting. And the thing is about this guy, apparently he has forged documents that look like they were original to like George Washington, to a couple of other historical figures in the United States, and even a poem penned by Emily Dickinson that supposedly no one knew about. But he is so good that these things have gone up for auction. People have bought them, and nobody will ever know whether they've got an original copy of something or it is a forgery or made up from it. That's how good this guy was. But it's worth watching. It was really quite interesting. New series called Americas with Stephen Reeves on BBC. It's excellent. Netflix has forgotten, which is excellent.
Netflix has
Unforgotten, which is excellent. Okay, so Americas and write these down. Unforgotten. And that's on Netflix, but it might be the British Netflix. Write these down. Yeah, so I was saying about this Shadow and Bone. It's a science fiction kind of thing, alternative universe. It's got magic kind of in it. It's really, I like the books. I read all 3 books in the series. In fact, there's a 4th book. It's not really, it's a spin-off from the trilogy, but at that point I was kind of done. So I didn't bother to read that one. I finished Justin Trudeau's memoir book. That was disappointing. Gave me, though, a whole new way of looking at our prime minister, which I really like our prime minister, but I didn't like his memoirs because it shows him in a totally different light, and I don't think it's flattering if you read between the lines. Unfortunately, it makes him seem like a politician when he's trying supposedly to show that he's really got the interest of the people at heart and all this kind of stuff. Actually, I wish I hadn't read it. Yeah, I kind of liked thinking the way I thought about him in my ignorance. But that, and I've started another book, which it's one where it's sort of like on the line of Indiana Jones and meets. I don't know if anybody knows Andy McDermott. I've read all of his books. They are mindless little pulpy things with a lot of people blowing up, and a lot of mystery around them and looking for ancient artifacts. Kind of like, what's that one? Laura Croft from Tomb Raider kind of a thing. Well, that's what this book I'm reading right now is sort of in all of that. So anyways, I like to read that kind of stuff. I was thinking of trying to read Anna Karenina, Anna, the Russian book. I can never say the last name. Yeah, it's like Karina, but it's not Karina. You know what I'm talking about. Anna Karenina, whatever. It's Russian. It's Tolstoy. So yeah, and I tried to read War and Peace once years ago.
I tried to once.
It's the Russian names. I can't get by the Russian in the book. It's just. But then I had problem with Dune. So, and you know,
I actually, I'm not a reader, and I read all 3.
I know you read all
of Dune.
I fought my way through Dune.
The first book I fought my way through, but I liked it. The second 2 books were lousy, I thought, until the last 50 pages of the 3rd book.
Oh. See, my problem with those kind of books, and the same problem I had with
they've made a new movie for Dune.
Oh, have they? It's the problem I have with Tolkien and Lord of the Rings series.
Mr. Leon says Anna Karina.
That's it. Yeah. And I got The Hobbit. I really liked The Hobbit. In fact, I read The Hobbit in university because I was taking a course in children's lit, and Hobbit's really not children's lit, but that was on the course. And I did read the Lord of the Rings, but I tried to get into the next one after that. And my problem is I hate reading a book that has a totally made up language. I just
I used to read a lot when I used to commute because there was really a lot you could do on the commuter train. So anyway, I read Lord of the Rings there, and I read The Hobbit, and I read this other one called Sword of Shannara.
Oh, I read that one years ago, and I really liked it.
They tried to make a series out of it, but it was kind of lame. And then I read, but even in Dune, it was a whole made-up language.
Yeah, see, I don't like that.
It's made it difficult to read.
Yeah, that's why I stay away from those kind of books, and that's why Anna Karenina, Karenina, you know, whatever. No, it's Karenina, Karenina, Karen. Okay, never mind.
Karenina.
From here on in, it's Anna. Okay, same thing, because if there's a whole lot of foreign words in it, foreign language words in it, I get bogged down in those and I move on. Actually, you know what I do? I cheat. If I can't pronounce it in my head, I give them a new name. So don't ever rely on me for a book review, because I'll be talking about characters that
Don't exist.
don't exist. I've made up their name.
Mr. Leon says just say AK.
AK, yeah, AK. That may become a thing. Keith, Anita says Keith just read Michael J. Fox's book called No Time Like the Future, and he said it was very good. Yeah, I knew that one had come out, and I was thinking of actually reading that, because I've always liked Michael J. Fox. Not sure where the crossover is on Netflix. My daughter's Canadian friend says she gets a fair few of our programs. Never finished War and Peace, but did manage Anna Kay. Love all the Tolkien books.
Well, actually, a few years ago, they said that Netflix didn't have as much stuff as the American network. But I think the American Netflix get a little bit more movie content than we get. I think a lot of the programs are pretty much the same across countries these days. Where we run into a problem is that we have a Canadian Broadcasting Corporation,
yeah.
and they like to censor certain TV shows, saying that they don't have enough Canadian content and all this other stuff. So
now it looks like, I just saw it in glancing. It looks like the 4th season of The Handmaid's Tale is coming out soon.
Yeah, it is. They're working on it.
We have to figure out how we're going to be able to watch that.
Well, we were able to. Oh yeah, we had it on.
So we just finished WandaVision. Again, that's one that's on the Disney Channel, and we don't get the Disney Channel, but I did get WandaVision. I still don't know if I would say I really loved it.
I didn't really like it.
It wasn't. I don't know. It was okay.
It was weird.
We watched it though, so I mean, whatever.
But see, the thing is, we're not really Marvel fanatics. I think if you're a Marvel fanatic, you'd be a little bit more.
Yeah, because apparently there was all kinds of stuff in the background in it that if you were a follower of Marvel comics and of the characters, you would pick that up. But if you're not, I guess it's right over your head. So I don't know. Actually, another book, though, like I was talking about Anna Kay there, books that I stayed away from for years and years and years were Jane Austen. Now, I was an English major. All right. But I managed to get through my degree with never having read a Jane Austen book, like Pride and Prejudice and that kind of stuff. And my first years of teaching, I taught with another teacher who absolutely loved Jane Austen. In fact, I think almost every female English teacher I have ever met are in love with Jane Austen. So only a couple of years ago, I decided, I watched the movies when they came out with Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibilities, and that I did watch those, and I kind of liked the movies. So I decided I would attempt Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen. Oh my God! Now I know what I was missing all these years. I love Jane Austen. So I need to read another Jane Austen. I've only read a couple, but I like them. My favorite author from the Victorian time period, well, actually, he's early modern, late Victorian, is Thomas Hardy. And I read Tessa the D'Urbervilles, Jude the Obscure, Return of the Native, The Trumpet Major, and there's a whole bunch of Far from the Maddening Crowd. I had a box set that I got at Christmas one year with about 10 of his novels in it. But I read him in grade 12. An English teacher made us read Return of the Native. I was the only one in the class that finished it, and I absolutely loved it. I haven't read any Thomas Hardy in a few years. I should go back and revisit Thomas Hardy again. But anyways, but when there's pulp fiction out there that you can read too, I read everything, so it doesn't matter that much, except for Anna. But I suppose I should really give it a try. Oh, I did. I read Emma. Yeah. Yeah, that was the other one. So I've read 3. Yeah, I like that too. Have you ever read anything by Joan Didion? I've never heard of Joan Didion. I'll have to look that one up. Anyways, that was what um we watched a strange movie on Netflix, and I was trying to remember the title of it the other night. Um Earlier in the week.
Was that the one with the over and over again?
Yeah, it was like
Prime.
Groundhog Day.
That
It was on Prime. But what was it
I can't
called?
remember the name of it either.
Because it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, actually, it was really good.
We also watched another movie about a week ago called I Really Care or something, or
I Don't Really Care.
I Don't Really Care or something like that. And it's kind of a
I think it's on Prime.
It's supposed to be a comedy, but it's not really a comedy. Maybe dark comedy, but not really.
Yeah, it's dark comedy. I don't really care. I don't recall that other one. I can't remember the name of that one.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, I Care a Lot. That Nairi says. Yeah, an interesting movie. Yeah, it was. Makes you think twice about nursing homes, doesn't it? So anyways, what are we cooking this week? So I've got a whole segment on Wally Cooks. Seems to be very popular on my vlog. But he made this week no chicken butter chicken.
Ew.
And it was kind of gross. But he made it out of this Indian cheese called, I can never, what is it? Panira. I want to say Panera, but it's not Panera.
No, it's
Paneer. It's more like tofu than anything else. And so apparently, if you're vegan or something, you can do this.
Oh yeah, the movie that we saw that was good. That was like over.
Yeah. Palm Springs. That's right. Yeah, that was actually quite good. Yeah, Paneer. We'd never had it before. In fact, we tried to do it up like Sakinaki, with califatari. That's the Greek one where you fry the cheese and throw a little ouzo on it.
It has no flavor at all.
Yeah, the paneer has absolutely no flavor to it whatsoever. So it's just like tofu. And so he did it up as buttered chicken.
Tofu is better, but
yeah, he did it up like buttered chicken. And yeah, that
it was kind of like little chunks of rubber.
Yeah, it was squeaky. That kind of.
When I fried it first, thinking it would give it a little bit more texture, but it
didn't work with that.
So we ate one dinner with that and threw it out.
Yeah. Now I made last night. Was it last night or Friday night? What did we have last night? Did I cook last night? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I did chicken piccata. That's the second time this year that I've done chicken piccata. Yeah, I like chicken piccata. He seems to like chicken piccata. It's not low fat. It takes like half a pound of butter in it.
B&D seems to think paneer makes great curry. I don't know. Maybe I didn't cook it right.
Maybe because it wasn't horrible. It just wasn't. Yeah. I don't know. It's
not chicken.
No. Now, mind you, when we made it into buttered chicken, we used bottled sauce.
Yeah.
For the bottle, and Walter added a few things to it, but
I didn't add enough heat to it either. So
yeah, it needed a little bit more spice. But anyways, and then he made teriyaki pork chops in the sous vide. Yeah, that's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah, it didn't work out well.
They were a bit piggy. Well, that was the pork.
Yeah, pork
that
itself,
used it. It tasted porky. Yeah. Well, maybe we just didn't cook it right, B, and which is very possible because
I didn't know what I was doing. So
this is we saw it. It was on sale in the grocery store, and our grocery stores more and more these days carry foods that are more
ethnic.
Yeah, I was going to say multicultural.
More multicultural, and leaning towards East Indian type people or something like that, because a lot of our immigrants now are East Indian and from that area of the world, or more like those areas of the world. So our food selections have changed quite a bit. So.
Yeah. So, which is kind of nice because you get a nice variety of stuff. But we saw this; it was on sale,
Yeah,
so we
the
bought
grocery
some.
store we were going to tends to cater to a little bit more ethnic background people.
Yeah,
So
because the area has more people than that. Like we love Indian food. So
yeah, it has a more of a Mediterranean or type food as
Yeah.
well. So
yeah. So, which is good. I mean, I like to try these things. I mean, ethnic food when I was growing up as a kid in this area was like Italian,
non-existent.
like
Actually,
spaghetti.
I never had a bagel until I was in my 20s. And that was because I went into Toronto. They had bagels there. And I said, well, I've never had a bagel. What's a bagel?
Oh, you tell me you didn't have a bagel? Whatever.
Yeah.
B says we get ours from the local farm shop, so no credit in cooking. Oh, okay. Well, like I don't know. I have nothing to compare
we
it to.
bought there's a famous cheese company in our area that's a large corporation, and they produce it, and called Trey Stella, and we just bought it from the Trey Stella thing. Well, I like halloumi better. Halloumi has at least a little bit of flavor to it.
Yeah.
But the paneer didn't really have any flavor at all. So.
In fact, the first time we ever had halloumi was when we were in Australia. So Nairi would know about
we
it.
didn't really see halloumi a lot in Canada, and it seems like the last
Now
year
there's halloumi coming out of our
last
ears.
year you can get it everywhere. So either that or we just never looked for it. So
And actually, halloumi you can use to make nakasaki, or not nakasaki. Blew up on that one. Oh, there's a joke in there too. Saganaki.
You can make a faux saganaki. It's not the same as using the proper Greek cheese for it, but it's pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, we used to get the proper Greek cheese for it. Yeah, whatever. It was califatari, which is a Greek cheese, a very aged Greek cheese. And the only place we could get it, they're no longer in business. And then we got a big piece of it. It's expensive cheese. We got a big piece of it from a market in Toronto called the St. Lawrence Market, and brought it home and cut it into pieces for saganaki and froze it. And we had that for a while, but we haven't been able to get it anywhere for ages. So halloumi seemed like a good substitute for it because did you read about that or something that you could make saganaki out of it?
Well, no, I just got the idea because of when we were in Australia. I actually bought a halloumi burger by accident. Didn't know what it was. And the slab, and I said, geez, this tastes just like saganaki.
B says halloumi is great in Heroes. Notice I called them Heroes, not gyros. I used to call them gyros. And yes, and Nairi has the proper spelling of halloumi. I wasn't going to say anything because I don't know how to spell it either. The advantage of living in Mexico, Mr. Leon says, is we have plenty of fresh produce all year round for a fraction of the price of what I used to pay in
well, that's because we get a lot of our produce from Mexico this time.
We have lots of Mexican produce too, but we pay more for it. That's one of the problems. But in Australia, they make halloumi burgers, which is basically a cheese sandwich.
Well, I don't know. We don't go to vegetarian restaurants. They probably have them here too. So.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, true. We don't go to vegetarian restaurants. But anyways, so we've got a Zoom birthday celebration coming up. It's not one of ours. Friends of mine, they were our friends since childhood that live in Kingston, which is a place about 2 hours east of us. Their father's celebrating, I think it's his it must be his 90th birthday because they're having this little special celebration on Zoom. They didn't really tell me what his age, but I'm sure it's 90. And so that's on Tuesday night. Not really sure what this involves, but well, just to say hello to him because he's still breathing. So that's a good thing. Spelling is not working for me tonight. It's late here and I'm fighting autocorrect. Yeah, it's okay, B.
Yeah, I know. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Getting auto-corrected and Luckily, there's no embarrassing words there.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have some things. So we've got that coming up. We don't have anything else coming up exciting in the next week, do we? No. No. Yeah, that's the way life is these days. Nothing. Most excitement is, going to the grocery store to pick up a green pepper, safely. Everybody's got to wear their mask and whatnot. So there you go. Oh, it'd be so nice to
Go maskless.
yeah, go maskless. Oh God, no. Ban the mask. No, can't do that. B says, well, it was my birthday yesterday, so really old now. Okay, B, you're working us up for this, aren't you? How old are you, B? You do have 100 after B and D there. I don't think you're 100, but if you are, that's amazing. If you were 100 and working on the internet and the whole bit, like there's faith. So come on, B. Come on. We won't make fun of you. I don't think you're. Oh, come on. 67 is not old. Geez, happy birthday, yes.
Happy birthday.
I thought you were going to say something like I'm 80 or something like that. 67. Geez. That's not, well, it's older than me, so I don't care, but not that much older. Well, in fact, it's hard to believe that my next.
Jeannie says you're a baby.
Yeah. Well, Jeannie, we know how old you are, dear. You've told me, which I still think that's, now it's like you look at people, and if someone says they're like 75 and they're out and about and they're using technology and they're doing the other stuff, everything on that, I go, bully for you. My mother is going to be 81 or 82
81 this year.
81 this year, and it's like she's 110. And I know people that are 100, or have heard of people that are 100, that are more lively than my mother is. My dad's 94 and uses the internet. Yeah, see, it can be done. Yeah, exactly. So, and I hope that that's the way I'm going to be someday. Still, it's kind of hard, isn't it, when you have a birthday and you look at it? Like when you start to figure that a young person is somebody under 50, and you go, oh God, I got underwear older than that, and I may or may not be wearing it. So, and it may or may not have puppy dogs on it. So, and it may or may not come from Marks and Spencer's. And if it did come from Marks and Spencer's, that's why I still have it, because those suckers never rot, no matter what.
Marks and Spencer's was here for a few years in Canada and has disappeared probably about 30 years ago.
Yeah, we haven't. I miss Marks and Spencer's because Marks and Spencer's had some interesting stuff, here.
Every time we've been to England, we always go to.
Yeah, we always go to Marks and Spencer's because that's a novelty now. Marks and Spencer's and Boots. Well, Boots is just a drugstore, but Okay. So I think we are done today. So this was our new setup. I don't think this is where we'll be next week.
We'll try a different.
We're going to try in my craft room next week. We'll see how that works out there. So we're just.
I do like the format. It's nice to read.
Yeah, it is.
The comments, so we get a chance to engage with you a little bit better. More.
Yeah, we're not always looking down.
Yeah,
well, now we're looking off to the side.
Yeah,
so,
but looking off to the side's not quite as bad as as looking down. I don't think.
Well, we're trying to always be better. So,
and the clarity is good, I think.
Well, it should be on this monitor. Oh, you mean what they're seeing?
Yeah, probably.
Well, you're using the same cameras as I use.
Yeah.
So why so? And don't call me an asshole. Anyways, yeah. So next week, who knows where we'll be broadcasting from? Maybe
we'll try
the bathroom.
someplace else.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
Stephen and Walter live in the tub. Whatever. Don't go there. Okay, thanks everybody. My vlog will be up sometime tomorrow, and then Idiot Quilter on Tuesday. I've got lots of things to share on those two things with you. And thank you for your support and coming. And this is great. Oh, what's this now? Reese's great chat today, boys. Adelaide Cup Day public holiday here in South Austria. Off to my craft room soon. Okay, good. You're off work then. So bye everybody. You have to run the mouse. You have it.
Oh, I have
so. We'll see you next week, if not sooner.
Bye.
Bye.